Gentlemen?
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Cyclone Duke here once again with some TF2 gameplay as the engineer. Specifically today I'm going to be over gunslinging and how exactly to do it. First tip, I bet a lot of you guys are going to know it already, but it is so important to know as an engineer, no matter what you are doing. The fact that you can right click while placing down a building to decide which way that the building faces. Here we go. Right click, and you spin the building around. Now again, a lot of you folks very well may know this, but it is very important, and I see an awful lot of engineers doing this without being aware of it. You can also place your teleporter entrance nice and safe, just halfway in the door there. It doesn't give too much of an advantage, but it does mean that it's kind of hidden and safe through the spawn door. But this trick of rotating your buildings can be used to, of course, place sentries that look the correct way and make it so that teleporters show the person, they point the person the correct way when they exit the teleporter. Because let me tell you guys, there's nothing more annoying I find in TF2 than taking a teleporter and not knowing where the hell you are. So right now, I've got my Mini-Sentry down. I'm trying to bait these people out into its line of fire. That's one trick you can start to do once you start putting down the Mini-Sentry, is you know where it is, the enemy does not. Try and lure them, trick them into coming into where the sentry gun is going to help you fight them. Another great part about gunslinging and using Mini-Sentry is being able to just kind of hide it and put it down in places that the enemy won't be aware of it. All you really want to do is make sure that your sentry can do its damage as best as it can. For the Mini-Sentry itself, there's a few facts that folks may not be aware of. First off, when the building is deploying and being built, hitting it, punching it, will not make it build any faster. Unlike with a normal sentry, it will always deploy in just under 3 seconds, which is about 4 times faster than a normal sentry. Or half the speed if you are fully wrenching a normal sentry as it builds. Mini-Sentries also cannot be repaired, though you can refill their ammo. And Mini-Sentries do about 75% of the full damage of a level 1 sentry. So they only cost 100 metal instead of 130, they do 75% of the damage, and of course, they're a freaking aimbot. If you're ever going to fight a gunslinging engineer, take out that sentry first, because it is going to be doing a huge 48 damage per second, which, as opposed to 64 from a level 1 sentry, and that is a lot of damage. If you're fighting a gunslinger engineer, always take out his Mini-Sentry first, because unlike the engineer himself, the Mini-Sentry never misses. So you're a gunslinger engineer. What is your most important duty to do? The most important thing that you can do is have those Mini-Sentries down in an area that people are going to be fighting. Even if people see you put it down right in front of them, they're going to need to spend some time to kill that Mini-Sentry. And that slows people down from killing your teammates. Or if they choose to ignore the sentry, then that's amazing, because it will tear them apart. So when you're thinking of where to place down a Mini-Sentry, or any sentry of course, you've really got mostly 2 things to think about. Will my sentry be able to kill people, and will my sentry be easy to destroy? Second one mostly for big sentries, but for mini sentries it can be nice to keep them alive too. For mini sentries, this usually means hiding them somewhere where people won't discover them, in little corners, under bridges, little dark places, so that they can kind of just hide there and do their damage. But the first thing again, as always, is, will my sentry have sight? Will it be able to kill people? You'll see in the video right there, I'm placing a sentry that has perfect vision on the final point. It's going to be able to see the entire final point for us and defend anywhere. All of that area right there could be defended by a Mini-Sentry in that spot. It's also kind of hidden. So here we go, starting a full round as a gunslinger engineer on cold front. Put down a teleporter exit, because as you run, you're going to be able to pick up metal. Even if you don't plan on putting down an exit, get an entrance up, because you're going to pick up some metal before you even reach the fighting, and you'll have basically gotten a free entrance. If you need to later, you will have the option to put one down. So unlike when you're playing with the normal sentry and you might want to turtle or defend, with the combat sentry, do not fool yourself, get out to the front lines. You are a very combat capable member of your team, and they need you when they clash heads with the enemy at the center point, or wherever the heck it is that they're going to fight the enemy. You don't want to leave them a man short. Get out there, put down your mini-sentry, let it start killing people. As a gunslinger engineer, you have a lot of weapon choices. I take the pistol with me. It does an awful lot of damage at an awful lot of ranges, and for the engineer with 200 backup ammo, you're never going to run out of ammo for it. It's a very well-rounded, reliable weapon. In my main slot then, I've got the Frontier Justice, so that when my little sentry dies, it'll give me critical hits which will lay waste to some enemies. I think a good few times in this video I just show it to the face of a heavy, and the heavy kind of evaporates before the sight of 2 critical hits in the face. Here's one coming up soon. The team damage that the pistol plus the mini-sentry did there was huge. Not huge enough, but the heavy goes down. Now when you're gunslinging, you will have the choice to bring along usually your Wrangler or your pistol. Some folks like to just put down the mini-sentry, take out the Wrangler and just troll with it, because the mini-sentry is a very heavy annoyance for a lot of classes. Because of its precision aiming, the fact that it does very respectable damage, it will lock down scouts, pyros, medics, a lot of classes who cannot kill it easily at long range. Even for a soldier, they need to waste half of their ammunition to kill a mini-sentry. And for what? You just lost 100 metal. That's nothing. So, if you take out the Wrangler, you can really have this invincible little machine of death. And it can be fun to try out. But personally, I stick to the pistol. I like to just put my mini-sentry down and forget about it. I'll go around with my shotgun and my pistol, able to handle myself. But if you can also team up with your mini-sentry and your pistol to do ludicrous amounts of damage very quickly. As far as primary goes, the basic shotgun is always reliable in any situation. You've got lots of shells, some good close range combat, some good mid range combat, especially with the pistol too. You can take out the Frontier Justice, and of course naturally the Frontier Justice being a weapon from the same expansion, from the same pack that the mini-sentry came in, they synergize well together. You put down your mini-sentry, you can even destroy it whenever you want, but when it dies, you'll get critical hits on your shotgun for however many kills or assists you got with that mini-sentry. So it's a lot of damage to plow out. You can destroy heavies with it, you can one-shot medics, very effective. Lastly, another question is, what's most important? Mini-sentry is always the most important. It will kill people, and that is very important in a team clash. After that, you gotta look at what's needed. If you're on a map where your team are having a hard time pushing ahead, they might need a dispenser. But if you're in an area that enemies are going to be in, such as in King of the Hill Nucleus, that entire area is dangerous, full of enemies. A dispenser will not live long anywhere on that map. But if you're on payload or control points and there's a part where your team just keeps on needing to fall back and you gotta give them a bit of support, a dispenser's only 100 metal. Even if it gets killed, it can help people refill their ammo. Freaking market gardeners. Aside from that though, you can always have a teleporter down. It's always good to save your teammates that long walk to get to the front lines, and you can put them a bit back safe. Somewhere in your territory that is safe where it won't get killed, and then again you can just forget about it. Remember that always the most important thing is to remember that you are a very dangerous, very combat capable class. You should be out there on the front lines, shooting people in the backs, and putting mini-sentries underneath their feet. Don't go tanking too much damage like a heavy or thinking that you're going to kill sentries. But the pure fact that you are an annoyance is crazy effective, along with your mini-sentries. That's about it for today's gameplay today, guys. I'm going to have a guide, or just some beginner tips coming up soon for the basic sentry and engineer play, so look forward to that. But in the meantime, happy gunslinging, guys. Have an exquisite day. All the best.